Hi, this is Mr. Ward. I'm going to make a series of short videos on how to turn a polynomial in or quadratic into a perfect square. And here are the steps. First thing, and we're going to deal with the increasing complexity here, and this will support you in Quadratics 11. So first of all, check the lead coefficient. If the lead coefficient is 1, so if it's just x squared, that's 1, then that eliminates a few steps. All you now have to do is figure out what is half of this coefficient, the coefficient of just the x term. We call this the middle coefficient, even though there's not yet a third coefficient, but we're aiming to get a third coefficient. So once you know what that is, the next step is to find out what half of that is. So what we're going to do is we're going to add half of 8. Half of 8 we can get by just doing 8 over 2, and then we're going to square that. And I'm going to go ahead and simplify that. I'll copy and paste that. 8 over 2 is, of course, 4, and then 4 squared is just 16. So that's a 16. So now I have created a perfect square. If this were equal something, I would have had to add 4 squared or 16 to both sides, but right now I'm just seeing what would I have to add to this to make it a perfect square. So that'll be factored as x plus this 4 squared. All right, let's take a look at another example. And by the way, notice that when I do that, I only have this, the x-intercept is, there's two x-intercepts, but they're the same x-intercept for -4 and -4, because -4 plus 4 would equal 0. All right, let's take a look at another example. So here we've got x squared minus 12x. The lead coefficient is, of course, 1. All right, so I don't have to worry about that. So what I'm going to add is half of -12, and I'm going to square that. Okay, I'm going to copy pasta that and make it clear what that is. Half of -12 is -6, but when I square -6, it becomes positive 36. And now I have something that I could factor simply as x minus 6. The minus 6 comes from here. Okay, x minus 6 squared. And we get this parabola over here that has an x-intercept used twice at x is 6, because 6 minus 6 would be 0. I'm going to stop this one, and then I'm going to do a short one on these two here so that you can be helped with a couple other types of questions.